So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my family. We have what would you call an atypical family. I have two sons who have been diagnosed with autism, and my husband also has Asperger's. I suspect I probably am on the spectrum somewhere. The rest of my children are more typical, but they do have some markers for autism. When we first met Dr. Gifford, he introduced us to the ball therapy. And I was not very convinced that this was going to do anything, but I thought it was no harm. So we tried doing a little bit of it on our own, but we weren't doing it well enough. He started a therapy session with us, and then we were going to see him and doing this ball therapy, and slowly I started seeing some things change in our family. My husband's sleep changed. He used to have very difficult time getting to sleep and staying asleep, and I noticed that he was getting better rest. My oldest child, who is going to be 20 this year, is the most severely autistic out of all of us. It was sad to see him in junior high, because I would ask him, who did you sit with? Who did you eat lunch with? And he'd say, oh, nobody. I just sat and read or was drawing or something. And I thought, well, this is really sad, but he doesn't seem bothered by it, so I'm not going to bother him to have any friends. One of the things that I noticed in him was that he started remembering names. He started collecting phone numbers. He now has friends that he keeps in contact with. And he even has a Dungeons and Dragons gaming thing that he plays with other kids and looks forward to that. And so that has been huge in our lives. The other thing that I saw in him was he didn't seem to notice his surroundings. And he was like he was almost sleepwalking. And now I've noticed that he's awake. He notices things. He holds conversations. He sees that there are things that need to be done, and he does them without being asked. It used to be I'd ask him to do the dishes, and it would take him an entire day. He would wander off. He'd forget that he was doing it. He'd come back to it. Now he can get them done in 30 minutes or so. So that has been an enormous change in him. My next son is 18 this year. And the things that I noticed in him were different. He used to be very confrontational. He'd want to argue over everything. He no longer does. He is willing to listen to other people's perspectives, and he is willing to consider other sides, and so he's less confrontational. This last year, he received a high score on his AZ merit, and it bumped up his grade in his English class, which was kind of a surprise because he's kind of just been an average student. My next son is 15, and what we noticed in him, this is kind of my super kid. He is good at athletics, he's good at drawing, he is very good at holding relationships. Everything got better. He had much better coordination. He was better in sports. His drawing went from just kind of meh to notable. And so that's him. My daughter is 12. She'll be 13. And she used to be so angry and very confrontational. She would pick fights with her brothers and sisters. And now she's not like that. Excuse me, I'm gonna turn this off. She also has better study habits and is getting really good school scores. She reads at a college level, which was very impressive. My next daughter is turning 11 this month. And the progress that we've seen in her is much slower, but it's definitely there. She has better study habits, and she has been going through some tutoring at school, and has just in the last year significantly raised her scores so that she is almost with her class, which is impressive because she was held back a grade and she's just really had a difficult time with academics. She has so much better coordination. When she first started, she couldn't throw and catch a ball, and now she's doing all kinds of fun tricks with the balls. As for myself, the things that I've seen is been I have less depression, I'm more confident, I am slower to anger, and my drawing skills have gotten a lot better. I'm an artist, and I'm able to, I guess what you call super focus, and the things that I'm seeing are translating a lot better to my hand, to the paper. And the other thing that everybody's impressed with is that I'm more tactful than I used to be. I used to just let things fly and didn't consider how other people were thinking and might be feeling, and that has changed a lot. It's like I'm a new person. Anyway, that's our family. Thanks for listening.